All right, so here's one section of the electric fence. I just wanted to show you kind of what the finished product looks like. You can see that I went down into the creek there to give them a little watering hole. There's a T-post that drilled kind of into the ground amongst all the rocks, and here's an insulator that I was talking about earlier. You can see that just clips onto, and there's a spider right there. I am freaked out by spiders. But that insulator just clips onto the T-post, and you run your wire through there, and that provides insulation, so that way your wire's not hitting the T-post, because that'll drain your solar power battery from the Energizer. You can see that that runs back up into the pasture. And here is an insulator for a tree. They have all kinds of things like this, by the way, but we decided to drill it with a screw. I think that they provided some nails with the pack that I bought, but we figured that the screws would kind of hold it a little better. But same concept, right? Just run the wire through there, and then it goes on to the, I've got a little temporary post there to kind of help hold it up. Then it goes on to the next tree. You can also purchase some insulators that look like this, and you screw into a tree or a post or whatever you're using, and that kind of keeps you from having to put up another post. So I just use the tree here. This is essentially serving as a corner post where it begins, and you know, it kind of runs along there, along the creek and up to the cabin. I'm trying to keep the cows away from that general area. Here's the first corner post. This is the one that you saw me digging, and it took me 4 different tools to get that hole dug. I think it was about 18 or 20 inches, 4 tools, goodness. But anyways, we got it done. And this is where the electric line starts. I just wanted to show you this. This is an insulator as well. And what you do with that, you buy them in packs, of course, like the other insulators, but you just kind of run your electric line through the middle of that. It's kind of hollow, and it's got some metal there to help provide some additional support. But you wrap it around, and that keeps your wire from touching the metal post and again running down your battery. So those are handy to have as well. So this is the main component of the electric fence. I did a lot of research on these Energizers before purchasing this one. There are some that you can purchase and hook up to the grid. And with those you can get a high magnitude of output, of course, for electrical shock. And they don't cost very much. I think maybe 10 joules or so of output was a couple $100. For solar powered, they're way more expensive. This is a Gallagher S100. It has 1 joule of output, and I think it cost me about $450 for that 1 joule. Anything, I think over 5 or 10 joules for solar powered, I think it was over $1,000. So anyways, I went with this one, the S100 Gallagher. It's on right now. You can see it's blinking green there, which is good. But it has a couple settings. Up here is, you know, is when you turn it off. Right here is if you're not using it for livestock and you're just using it for like to keep game and stuff out of a certain area, like deer or whatever, then this is a setting. And here's a setting for livestock. The livestock setting, which is obviously what I have it on, my understanding is at night it does not run as much because livestock generally are more inactive at night. And you can always turn it over here to check the setting, the power remaining in the battery. You can see that everything's good there. Let's get that turned back on. And then on this we've got the ground wire, of course, that runs down to one of the ground rods that you saw me installing. And here is the live wire that runs over to the electric fence. All right guys, so that's gonna be a wrap for today. All you hippies and hippie wannabes, stay tuned for the next video because homesteading gets real when the cows arrive.